Have you ever afterpaid? Actually, we were looking at something the other day. It was $9 online or something. I think it was, and it had like an
You can afterpay it for $2 a transaction. Office Works, wasn't it? I think it might have something like that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, okay. So in the paper today, the headline reads: Afterpay fights back over the RBA's surcharge claim. And it says, buy now, pay later leader Afterpay says retailers use the services as a lead generation tool rather than a payment option. So here's what's happening, right? The cost of Afterpay is much higher than the cost of Visa, debit card, MasterCard, right? So Afterpay charge a 3 to 6% surcharge of the retail price of the product. And the big argument, of course, is that retailers are saying, we can't pass that surcharge on because it's too much margin. And so they're having to wear it, which is eroding their margins. And so, like Visa card and MasterCard and those guys are in the conversation saying that should be illegal because for whatever reason, they're gouging. And I mean, I look at it and I think, why the heck is the RBA getting involved in the marketplace like this anyway? This is something that the marketplace will decide how this plays out.
Well, Afterpay is not a credit provider. That's the RBA shouldn't be involved because...
I agree. I agree. Like if you go back to 2000, GST came in, everything went up 10%.
Yeah.
Like literally, like the market decided, like it was just like something was $100, it's 110 tomorrow, right? Because and they promised that would never happen. But of course it was going to happen because no retailer or anybody could afford to lose 10% of a retail price, which is probably 50% of your profit, right?
Yep.
So this will play itself out. What they'll never be able to get past is the fact that the market love Afterpay.
Yeah.
Because, how do I know? Because so many people use it. That's so. And if you think about it, it's a very genius play because it's like 4 payments over 8 weeks is like the standard thing. So whereas young kids put stuff on credit card and then never paid it back for 15 years and ended up paying 7 times the price for the item, they can't get caught like that with Afterpay.
Yeah. Because
you are actually agreeing to 4 payments over 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. And so it's a cleaner transaction for the customer. And so I think it's a phenomenal product. When our clients have included Afterpay, I've seen sales lift 20, 30, 40% overnight. And then the reason why they're fighting back is you can't compare Afterpay with MasterCard or debit card because have a look at the Afterpay website. They're a lead generation tool. Yep. So, I had a look at the Afterpay site before and every retailer is on there. Mm-hmm. And then they are driving leads, inquiries to the websites of the stores. And some of them, so when you go on to Afterpay, some of them you can Afterpay and it says only in store. So you have to go in the store to sign up for Afterpay. Some of them, you buy it through the website. So you go to afterpay.com, you click on Lacoste, you find the t-shirt you want, you can Afterpay it and it gets delivered. What is it worth to a retailer to not have to spend any marketing money? See, it's actually their marketing budget and their merchant fee together, because Afterpay, and I can't remember the number, but they said something like we drove 23 million leads to our stores in the month of November, right? It's an insane amount of money, insane amount of inquiry. So Afterpay should get paid for being we pay Google AdWords to drive an inquiry to our website, and we pay them whatever it is. That's what Afterpay are doing a really good job of. Now, if you're like, whatever, some little boutique in the back of nowhere, then maybe you have less of that because you're harder to find on the website, mm-hmm. maybe. And maybe that's an interesting thought. Maybe if they've got a filter, if you can say, if an Afterpay, you can go to some little town and see who does Afterpay, maybe that's a pretty cool idea. But I think that they are worth 3 to 6% of a transaction if they're bringing you the inquiry.
Well, yeah, if you don't have to pay the marketing dollars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's your acquisition cost and your merchant fee. And remember, you get the money now. With these guys, the retailer gets paid.
Yep.
And the customer gets to take the product home. So it's like reverse lay-by. You get the product now, but you pay for it over time, and the retailer gets paid minus a fee. And if they're bringing way more value to the table than a merchant, then they should get paid way more than a merchant, is my opinion. I still think that it's completely overstepping for RBA to even be involved.
Now, as one of the sales strategies that we do with our clients is a lot about risk reversal, and how do you make sure that the sale is as easy as possible for the customer, offering payment terms and all. But this just seems like just another really good sales strategy to remove that barrier of friction.
It removes heaps of friction. I don't know whether you ever did this. Kimberly and I did. When we first got married, we went and bought a couch at Hardly Normal, and we had to go over to a separate counter and get a GE card or something, and they physically gave us a mock-up GE card that we could walk back over to the other side of the shop, and there was a GE salesman that was just, and I remember, this is the worst experience in the world, What do you do now? At the counter. Do you want to afterpay it? Yep, what's your account? Done. See ya. So it's very clever, because you are taking an entire, painful part of the process out and letting people flush through. So from a business perspective, I think it's phenomenal, and I also think, if you think about this, the tide's going to have to rise for the whole industry. So, if I'm a sporting goods retailer, right, and I'm competing against 4 or 5 other big names, and everybody ends up using Afterpay, well, everyone's going to increase their prices. It's now going to be that the $219 shoes are $224 because I need to recoup that 3 to 6% somehow. And if I do it, and everybody else is going to do it, and then it becomes a game of, well, if everybody's putting their costs up 3% to wear the surcharge, and I only do a 1.5%, am I happy to be the cheapest price now, knowing I'll get 3 times as much as everybody else? So, I mean, if people are unsure, okay, so how do you do this if you're a small retailer in the middle of nowhere using Afterpay? Do a different deal, do a different pricing structure 3 weeks in a row. Completely rip out, go to market 1 week as you open your store with we never pass on any fees, right? Next week, we're passing on our fees. Next week, we're doing half of it, and then see what happens. Listen to the feedback, choose the one that was best, and run that one for the next 5 years. If it's disruptive for 3 weeks, that's not the end of the world. That's data mining. It's just not technical. It's asking people, seeing their reactions.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Strategize. So what are you going to do to remove the barrier of entry for people to purchase from you? I don't know. Maybe you have a product that would be valuable to look at Afterpay.